Order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, it's nice to see a full house even on this rather stormy day. Thank you all for braving the weather to be here. Okay, first item is our minutes. Are there any corrections that anyone has?
I'm gonna make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Made and seconded. I do have one tweak, and that was with the workshop minutes. Actually, the name Stenberg is really Stenberg with an N, so I did tell Liz that she can do a search through a couple of places that it appeared. So,
Madam Chair,
yes.
I'd just like to recognize Office Manager Liz, our minute taker. When I was looking through this, there was 17 pages of minutes, and sometimes we only acknowledge them when we want corrections, but good job in keeping it all straight. A year ago, she had 3 support staff with her. Now she doesn't have any, so a lot going on for one person, so thank you.
Yeah, thanks for mentioning that, Commissioner
Yeah.
Ketchmark, and I too thanks her for staying late to do them. All right. There's no other questions or comments. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, the minutes are approved. The agenda, is there any additions or deletions that we need to make? Mr. Kelly, are we good?
Nothing to add?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
All right, motion
I'll
made by
second.
Commissioner Leiden, seconded by Commissioner Ketchmark. Questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, the agenda is approved. Consent agenda, anything that anyone would like to remove for further discussion?
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion to approve today's consent agenda.
All right, motion made by Commissioner Vesh, seconded by Commissioner Leiden. Any comments, questions? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, consent agenda is approved. Moving on to the timed agenda item, only 1 minute behind. So we have Sheriff Derringer and a very special person. Well, a lot of special people, but one that we're recognizing today.
She's totally going to cry.
Well, just don't make all of us cry with her. No.
Captain Anselman started this mess almost a year ago to the day. And interesting, while it provides opportunity for us at the Sheriff's Office for changes and new directions, new visions, and that has certainly shared my vision. I've always said that it comes down to how we treat people. And I have very much appreciated Annette's role and the command staff, and certainly our conversations as we forge our way forward. So I'm going to truly miss her. There's a big highlight to mention today that Annette is the last current member of the Sheriff's Office hired by former Sheriff Darrell Wolf.
Yeah.
So most people in our office aren't even that old. So
You can hit them. None of us we won't say anything. We can scrub it from the video too.
I was also hired by Sheriff Wolf, but I'm not.
So I'm going to put my glasses on for a second because 35 plus years, Annette has spanned a lot of what we do in the Sheriff's Office. Just some of her highlights. In 1988, she was hired full-time as a deputy sheriff, spent several years in the patrol division, moved to the narcotics division as an investigator, a detective in CID, a CID sergeant, communications dispatch sergeant, administrative lieutenant, and since 2016 has been our CID captain. Also in there, she has been a sheriff's explorer starting way back in 1984. For those of us old enough to remember the important work that our matrons once did prior to the days of cameras and everything else, she was a matron. She's worked in our jail. She's worked in dispatch. She has been part of the Wright County Honor Guard, and I give Annette a lot of credit. She was actually also part of Minnesota Lima Law Enforcement Memorial Association And she has brought a lot of that good work to our office, and our honor guard is still one of the finest in the state, and we got a member of that here as well today. So 35 plus years of experience. I want Annette to say a few words, but I'd like to present her. Not many people can that have a number that big on their retirement plaque. So this is in recognition of Captain Habish's 35 years of service with the Wright County Sheriff's Office. So thank you, Sheriff.
Thanks. I had to put down a few things, otherwise I'd miss. And then as I was sitting here, I realized I missed some things that were important too. Like the sheriff said, I need to thank my mom and dad, first off, for believing in me and still letting me do what I really want to do. Especially after, as an Explorer Scout, being picked up by Deputy Charlie Nelson as he flew into my driveway, lights and siren, so jump in, and we left, lights and siren with dirt flying behind. They still let me continue on what we were doing. I know they have had a lot of sleepless nights since I became a deputy, but I knew that with all their prayers, asking God to keep me safe, that all my training, that I was going to be just fine. So, Mom and Dad, I know you're watching, so thank you. They didn't make it in today because of the weather. To my husband, Pete, was Wally. Just understanding and always being there for me to process through some of the real horrible days. For understanding that plans were meant to be disrupted. You know, the phone's always there and calls are happening, and there were many days that we had something planned and family plans were just changed. That's the way it was for my kids, for just being kids. They're always there. The rest of my family for always supporting me and supporting law enforcement. No matter what the climate was, they stood behind us. To past sheriffs for believing in me and the administration for believing in me and promoting me throughout the years. Whenever my bucket got full and I knew that, you know, when I first started, I said to myself, oh my God, 10 years, this is all I'm going to do in this job. I can't handle this. This is just, I mean, so much bad. I didn't grow up this way. And have family, domestics that, you know, you deal with and people dying brutally. So I was like, 10 years, that's all I'm doing. But as soon as my buckets got full, there was always an opportunity to change. So it was really a blessed career. So to the rest of my work family, I've always said that I have a blood family and a badge family. My badge family is a bond that I will miss the most. The last 6 years supervising as a captain in our criminal division has been amazing. To see the dedication, perseverance, compassion that these detectives, narcotics agents, SROs, forensic folks, crime scene deputies, evidence techs, and our victim advocate in action every day is inspiring. That's what makes coming to work every day worth it. I can never say that that I just hated coming to work, because I didn't. I knew that I would have this support system in place at work, and we all worked through it together. So I'm going to miss the routine of coming to work every day. I'm going to miss my badge family the most, and I'll just continue to pray that everybody working at the sheriff's office is going to go home safe. Thank you for allowing me to serve here for the last 35 years.
Madam Chair. I want to thank you for probably the hardest task you were asked to do, which was train me in 1993. We were busy, I remember it, but thank you, congratulations.
So which was your favorite sheriff to work with?
If I will, you know, every one of them's got a bright spot.
Yeah, things were a little different back when you were first hired, Annette, compared to today with the, you know, many more female deputies. So when I started in 1989
Yeah.
with as a corrections officer, you were one of 2 female
Yeah.
deputies, and, yeah, just right away, I mean, you were just kind and welcoming, and so, yeah, thank you for all these years.
Thank you.
So what are you gonna do with all your free time now?
Whatever she wants.
Exactly. I really don't have a whole lot of plans yet, but I'll have to find something.
Yeah,
I suppose when you look at the snow, you think maybe a little farther south for a while.
Well, it's kind of hard to uproot when I have 3 kids still.
yeah. Maybe a brief vacation, right?
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Yes,
So,
congratulations and thank you for all those years serving us.
yeah.
Yep.
Really
Enjoy your
appreciate it.
retirement.
Enjoy. Yeah.
Enjoy,
deserve it.
enjoy.
All right. So, now we have Lindsay Meyer, Administration and Finance.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioners. I come before you today requesting the authorization to attach an addendum to the original agreement, which was signed by the Assessor's Office with Tyler Technologies. Our portion of this system is the property tax management, and we are looking forward to having an upgraded system.
For sure. Does anyone have any questions for Lindsay on this?
This will all be done next week?
I'm hoping that you will sign it by next week.
Well, I don't have to sign it. She's gotta sign it.
Madam Chair, so were we going through MCCC on that, or were we going with?
This is a Tyler Direct contract
Tyler
that I brought
Direct
forward.
contract. Okay. But I appreciate all the hard work that you put into it, as well as Tammy and the Assessor's Office, and Elizabeth's help in getting it ironed all out. This has been kind of a larger, overreaching project to finally get to see go move forward.
I'll make a motion to approve the amendment to agreement between Wright County and Tyler Technologies.
All right, motion made by
I'll second it.
Lyden, seconded by Commissioner Vetch. Any more discussion? All right, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you. All right, we have a substitute for Mr. Mark Mattice. We have Brad Harrington here. So,
This too much snow for him?
yeah.
Vacation. So,
Welcome,
morning, Madam
Brad.
Chair and the board. So I am here just to request to set a date and a time for a public hearing related to our 2 outdoor recreation grant applications that we're submitting. Just for background, the 2 applications, one of them is a $300,000 application with a $300,000 match for the redesign at Schroeder Park. And that $300,000 match is coming through the ARP funds. The other one is for Montissippi Park for the reconstruction of a playground and replacement, and that is a $75,000 grant with a $125,000 grant match. Our part of the process that we've seen now, they've added this in, is that we have to have these public hearings. So the date that we're requesting to set would be March 15th at 9:30 a.m.
March 15th? All right,
March 15th, we'll have a workshop on that day.
right. So
Just do it as part of the workshop.
well,
Could, or you could move it back. I don't know if it's time sensitive, Madam Chair or Brad, or if it could be moved back to the 22nd.
We can move it to the 22nd. Grant submittals have to be in by the end of March.
by the end of March? So that wouldn't be pushing it too far for you?
I don't think so.
I mean, we could have it during the board meeting on the 8th, but
We already have a public hearing,
at,
or is that later on?
that's
that's in
that's
the
later
afternoon.
on. We have the district committee of the whole at 9:30, or 10:30, but I don't anticipate it's more than a 10-minute, or, we don't know, I guess. We don't know the public, so. Yeah, maybe we're safer doing the 22nd.
That works.
That should work for us.
Okay.
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion to set a public hearing at 9:30 on March 22nd for the public hearing for the 2 outdoor recreation grant applications.
I'll second.
All right, motion made by Commissioner Vetch, seconded by Commissioner Ketchmark. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All right,
Thank you.
Brad. Okay. Mr. Virgil Hawkins, our highway engineer.
Madam Chair, while he walks up here, I have to say his staff has done an excellent job on keeping the
Yeah.
roads all winter very well cleared around County roads, I can say, I can get around really, really well.
Yes, yes, thank you. We do have among the best in the state.
I agree.
Traveling other counties.
Yep.
Thank you. Well, good morning, Madam Chair and Board of Commissioners. Today, there's one highway item for your consideration. It's requesting approval of the 2022 maintenance agreements for 7 cities in Wright County. Well, actually, one in Sherburne County, too. Elk River, Monticello, Montrose, Waverly, Howard Lake, Maple Lake, and Delano.
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the maintenance agreements.
I'll second it.
All right, motion made by Commissioner Delight, seconded by Commissioner Vetch.
Madam Chair?
Yes,
Yeah, I'm grateful to those cities and to Virgil's office that they look at what makes sense
work together.
for both the cities and the county to work together on these. So I appreciate you guys doing that.
Yeah, I agree.
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Ketchmark?
And also, just to note, it's good to see that these other cities where you're proposing the agreements have already checked off and signed and approved, and we're the last step in that, so there isn't any question about, is this gonna go over with all these cities? It's a done deal, so thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, these are each one a little bit unique, and we listen to the cities, our partners, and how they want to have snow and ice control done through the towns, and we're glad to work with them on it.
Thank you, we appreciate that. Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Hey, thank
Thanks,
you.
Virgil. All right, items for consideration, administration, the Energy Transition Advisory Committee appointment. The applicant withdrew her application, so we have a process. If someone's interested, there's an application process, and I think it's involves a bit of work to get that together, but
Madam Chair?
sure. Yes.
I'll put my support behind Commissioner Vetch, who lives in that district and represents the people that are most impacted by these changes going on.
All right, is that a motion?
Yep.
Is that?
It should be, I don't know, Madam Chair, just for comments, so in light of when I seen that the Rose withdrew, I did work on putting together the necessary credentials that I need to submit. At this point, I would, if the board would be interested in endorsing me too, and I would need the board's endorsement then to actually apply for the placement on there. I would be honored if the board would do so.
So it
That was
sounds
a
like
motion.
that you motion to endorse, all right?
I'll second that.
All right, motion made by Commissioner Delight, seconded by Commissioner Ketchmark to endorse Commissioner Vetch for this appointment. And yeah, I agree. I think, you've been very involved with CMMRP too, and that's in the region, and this is an economic, concern with losing jobs and that kind of thing. So I think that you do a great job on that committee. So any other questions or comments?
Madam Chair, and I thought Commissioner Delight voluntold you at the last meeting. I wasn't sure where we were at with it, but I think it's good to have one of our own as the representative for the board in Wright County on this
Yep, yeah.
committee.
Yeah,
And
I
it-
agree.
I agree because, it is something that, when we're endorsing someone, they'll do the wishes of the board and, the best for the county, so.
Yeah, that was gonna be my first ask, was whether you wanted it or not. But if you've got the paperwork pretty much ready, I guess that's a yes.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna throw my hat in the ring for it, so we'll see if where Dean decides.
All right.
Okay,
So any
thank
any
you for
other
that.
comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Commissioner Vetch is appointed and move forward with the application. All right, schedule a committee of the whole to review the CIP process updates and recommended 2022 CIP projects. Is there a particular date we're looking at?
Madam Chair, I know that we don't have a board meeting next week, but we're looking potentially if next week would work for board members. Otherwise, we could look out the following week. I do know that we have quite a bit already on Tuesday, the 8th. So,
Madam Chair, I'm good next week. I'm already got meetings anyway, so I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm
So-
not, I'm not going anywhere either. What would be a good day?
Madam Chair, Tuesday, Commissioner Catchmark and myself have got a good portion of the day crossed off because we'll be interviewing law
Okay.
firms, so.
on that day.
Well, Wednesday or Thursday, I have a morning meeting on Wednesday and an afternoon meeting on Thursday, but
I have a morning meeting on Thursday.
I got a morning meeting Thursday. I'm good Friday and I'm good Wednesday anytimes.
How about,
Wednesday,
yeah, Wednesday, you have, what time is your meeting?
9:30, 9:30 to 10:30.
And I'm in Litchfield all morning,
On Wednesday?
yes.
So how about
o'clock?
would
1:30?
Wednesday afternoon work?
9
You know,
to
we do have Monday,
about noon or so. I'll be there.
we do have Monday the 28th too as part of that week.
I'm wide open too on that, as long as it's
I'm
after
open.
9. It has to be after 9:30 because I have a meeting with Xcel Energy at 8 a.m.
On Monday?
Yeah, Monday, but I can go after that.
How about 10 on Monday?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Want to make a motion then to that
I'll make
effect?
a motion to have committee of the whole to review the CIP process updates and recommended CIP projects for Monday at 10 o'clock?
Right.
All right,
Which Monday are you
the
talking?
28th.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
And administration will send out Outlook invites, right?
Yep.
Lindsay, did that work okay for you guys?
Good.
Madam
second
Chair.
that.
All right,
All right,
there's a second.
so motion made by Commissioner Delighten, seconded by Commissioner Ketchmark. Set the CIP Committee of the Whole for 10 o'clock on February 28th. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, that meeting is set. Good. Schedule broadband committee meeting. Now, this is just broadband committee, it's not committee of the whole.
Yeah.
Okay,
Correct.
so that would be the two broadband commissioners, if you want to look at your schedules and figure that out.
I guess I would be more inclined for us to go out further to the 28th. We might have more, Elizabeth, I would guess I'd kind of question to you, do you think we have enough information if we went on the 21st for that rough draft for phase 2? Or are we better off going to the 28th? Then we'll go the 28th. Because I don't want to meet if we don't have any of that information. So if the more information we have for it, the better.
Are you talking March?
March, yep. So,
Go ahead.
I'll make a motion to set the broadband committee on March 28th. We usually meet at, what was it, 10?
1.
Yeah, 10.
10:30.
10?
1.
10 o'clock?
10 o'clock?
Yep. March 28th at 10 a.m.
All right, motion made by Commissioner Vetch, seconded by Commissioner Delighten. Is there any? or-
Did I
wait,
second it?
No, never mind.
Second
No, you didn't.
Are you putting
Sorry.
words in my mouth?
I guess so. Moving things along, yeah. Sorry about that, to jump the gun here. I'm looking at my note from my last motion. So you're looking at
Yep.
March 28th at 10 o'clock?
Yep,
And motion made by Commissioner Vetch. Is there a second?
I seconded.
Seconded by Commissioner Delighten. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. All right. That is set. Schedule closed session, committee of the whole, to discuss county administrators.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
I'd like to kind of postpone this until he has a full staff. So that at least we can work together with guidance and figure out what the future's gonna hold, with his staff and all that sort of stuff. So I just kind of like to postpone this for now until he gets fully staffed and we can move forward
Well,
in that
I
respect.
appreciate that he is being pulled from all directions at all times.
Well, right now it's kind of like fighting with both hands tied behind your back when you're
Yep,
all kind of by
pretty
yourself.
Madam
Well,
Chair,
not
I'm
by
fine.
himself, but-
Madam Chair, I'm fine with sitting on that for a period of time, so
Should we just
just
table it for now and we can bring it
Yeah, I
back?
think that's
Bring it back in a
a
month
good
or so?
idea.
All right. Motion to table?
Make that motion to table.
All right.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Deline, seconded by Commissioner Wetter. Discussion, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right. Item is tabled. Advisory Committee, Advisory Board updates. My goodness, are we ahead of schedule today or what? Moving right along.
Commissioner Hewsome is going to set her quickest meeting of the year.
Yeah, it would be, wouldn't it? So
By far.
Depends on how long, because we didn't have time for any last week, so we'll see. So, all right, Commissioner Ketchmark, would you like to start?
Sure, thank you, Madam Chair. MRC met, there was discussion about broadband money available, and they were talking about the Office of Broadband Development and the Office of Economic Development at the state as places to check. I know we have a committee and people are already pretty well versed in this, but there's a potential of $200 and some million from 2 or 3 different places now, and I don't know if everybody knows about that total that's being thrown around. It's unconfirmed and uncommitted, but stay tuned and reach out to those couple offices maybe if there's some question on if those amounts are changing. I did bring up, because they were talking about initiatives for MRC like we have. We reviewed, okay, theirs looks similar to ours, and I said, hey, how about the DVS, the Driver Vehicle Services opportunities or lack of for our residents? And a couple of them chimed in that they did have some concerns. There were some shut down, but they've since opened, and now they don't consider it an initiative for them anymore. So they're not in the same boat, I guess, as us. They talked about the opportunities for commercial driver's licenses. That's tougher to come by. You have to drive further, I guess, to find those places. And they've tightened up the rules for farmers, and if they go so far from their farm, they're considered a commercial driver now. And if they're caught outside of that 150 miles, they have to beach their rig, cattle trailer, truck, if it's a certain size, and call somebody with a license to drive it. And as you know, Minnesota, a big state, 150 miles, you're not out of the state. You're
Right.
still conducting business, going to markets and things like that. But no interest in signing on with the Driver Vehicle Services, so a good thing we have our own advocates and helping us with our initiatives that are specific to us.
For sure.
Fair Board met. Circus is confirmed for this year. That was real popular. We're glad to get that back. They're going away from the long-time fair book for
Oh, they are.
ads and programs. They're going to go to more of an online sponsorship type of thing for different events. And with that, there's incentives for grandstand passes if you donate so much money to a certain event. So that was kind of a big step. They're working on coming up with a flyer to address it, and but that's big. There was a lot of money being spent on those program books, and you pass them out, but it was hard to kind of evaluate the good that they did. But so no more for this year anyway. Fire chiefs and a local emergency management met. They're trying to figure out how much support they'll have from the Wright County Fire Departments for this training facility and how much money each would like to pledge. And it's kind of hard because a meeting like that, there are quite a few represented there, but how about the handful that aren't there? They have to run around and try and meet with them and see what the interest is.
Madam Chair, is the Fair Board still thinking about doing kids free this year? Have they not discussed it yet, or?
Yeah, I reported on that a while ago, that whatever it was, under 17 is going to stay.
Oh, nice, good.
Yeah.
Glad to hear that they decided.
So whatever it was last year,
We'll
they
save you
each-
some money.
Yeah, so that's indefinitely going to be like that.
That's great.
So, yeah, I mean, I really like the program books, but I can see where if it's online, then you can do the same thing. It's just, a matter of printing, and I like to physically go through and circle the things that I, planning to attend and make sure I'm there at that particular time. So, but being online, that'll help. It might be some people, I don't know if they're thinking of doing like a thumb. So for people that maybe don't have some people don't have computers, so they might have, And I guess if they have everything posted per day, that this is what's happening, then that would help, but, yeah.
Madam
You see,
Chair.
it would be very expensive to print those books that they've been sending out all these years, so.
Madam Chair, just for what you
Commissioner
said about people not having computers, I wonder how they know what they're gonna, they have a project and what to sign up on, if they don't have a computer. That could be
Yeah.
difficult for some,
Yeah,
so.
I'll ask further at the next meeting on what that looks like.
yeah, and just, that's, I don't know if they're, said just a sheet maybe of this is what's happening today, if they come to the fair or something, but
Well,
I don't know.
not really, because you put those in, you bring your projects and stuff ahead of
Right,
time.
I'm just talking about attendees.
Yeah.
Like me, I don't have any projects, I just like to go to the different events or what band's playing and, what my grandchildren might want to see and sort of thing, so, yeah. But,
And latest thing, I just got off a ditch meeting that they scheduled at 8 o'clock on a Tuesday. Very interesting, with 3 counties, Carver, McLeod, and us. There's a ditch down in the south that's split 3 ways, different percentage assessed to each. And you'd think it'd be simple, but to figure out who your viewer is gonna be to determine benefits. There's 2 on the table. Well, one got kind of pushed off the table before the meeting, and we're trying to find out why what was on the table was the higher bid one.
You had Ron Ringquist and H2O
H2O.
viewers?
It was H2O and Joe Jacobs and Company.
Oh, really? Did not even know.
And there's a question of lower bid. There's a 40 or 50 cent an acre difference, which if you got 10,000 acres is 5,000, and the landowners are paying it all. The county's not gonna make up the difference. So we agreed upon having them come into a meeting and talk to us, because there's a lot of questions. Carver has not done any big ditch projects like we've done on 10 ever, so this is new for them, and they're the lead county. McLeod has done quite a bit, and they weighed in on it, so we're gonna have a summit with both companies and ask the questions and try and flush it out there.
yeah.
Madam
good.
Chair, I mean, I think the biggest thing there is, when looking at the redetermination of benefits, is really taking into consideration the time of the deliverables. Because, I mean, a lot of those viewers, some of them, you won't get the deliverables for almost 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 years plus,
Or
so.
more,
I mean, it depends on the urgency of the work that needs to be done and how long you want to carry that fund on the rolls till the redetermination of benefits. I mean, I guess that's more the one that whoever's the fiscal agent that's going to be carrying the balance until you can actually send it out to the new benefited rolls.
And we had our ditch coordinator on, which is very helpful, Matt, and it depends how much legwork is county staff having to do also. Some of these provide better maps and different things for landowners to explain what's going on. And that was a consideration also. And the one project we're waiting for with the one group is 5 years old already. 5 years. The other company, he said the delivery is 6 months to a year. So what's the urgency in the project? Can we wait for another company at a cost of 50 cents an acre less or not? So we'll call them in and see if they can sharpen the pencil and maybe lower the rates and whatever else comes out of it.
Yeah, good,
That's all I have, Madam Chair.
all right. Commissioner Delyden.
Last week the Wellness Committee met, a lot of talk about the excitement moving out to the new location and the walking paths that's out there. They'll be doing their poker walk, which is in June, and they're assuming by that point we'll
We
be
want
all
snow?
out there.
Oh, I
And
was
the
gonna say,
snow-
our snow will be gone.
And the snow will be gone, so that they'll be able to do the poker walk out there for the employees and stuff.
Oh, that'll be nice.
And then in March, there'll be a scavenger hunt again for employees, and then bloodmobile, and then I'll let to walk again in May. So something about learning more about the healthy activities with Let's Walk.
Bloodmobile will be on site.
Yeah, at this point,
We don't know which site, but.
well, we're assuming it'll be out at the new location,
Yep.
which everybody will be there, so they're looking forward to having more people
That'll be good.
donate because it'll be more convenient. And then on Thursday last week, the planning committee met, and it was a fairly easy one. We were out of here by, I don't know, 8:30 or something
Really?
like that. 8:30, 9 o'clock probably at the most. So yeah, it was an easy one.
Good.
So hopefully they'll all continue. Everything went well. The new planning and zoning administrator did a good job.
Handled it well? Good.
Yep. We're, everybody was happy with the way things went.
Nice.
In fact, the attorney wasn't there, so it had to have been an easy one.
Yeah, it's not always that everyone's happy after a meeting. So, thank you. So Annandale Safe Schools met, and we had a lot of good discussion about, the mental health issues among kids and looking at services because it's, not, the providers, we don't have enough providers really, just in general. And so they're really working on that. And also who they can talk to, connect with in our human services department when they have different issues. So yeah, some good discussion there. Mentorship, education, and drug awareness met, and we are in transition because our drug-free communities coordinator is now our Safe Communities of Wright County executive director. So we don't have that coordinator in place yet, and so that's something that we're looking forward to getting that person hired. But there was a number of initiatives that we had going on, and some of those initiatives sort of got put on hold, like having a movie night for the community. We have, we could bring in actually a full-length movie and present. We talked about doing that at the St. Michael Cinema, thank you. And we kind of just put that on hold because to try to pull something together without a coordinator in place right now. But there's some really impactful films, Talk They Hear You, Dead on Arrival, which it's pretty hard not to cry when you watch that. It's a very short one, like 20 minutes. They've been presenting that at different schools. And Life After You, that's the full-length one. So anyway, some discussion on how to use these resources and just getting words out, involving more kids in this program. And we did approve a grant request for Howard Lake Waverly Winstead. So they can have they've had this forum quite a few years, and it's been very well attended and successful. So that's nice to give them the grant again. My first library meeting at Great River Regional Library.
Did they make you sign your books?
Yeah. I didn't look for my books in there, gee. Anyway, so we, I'm blanking out the other new guy, Doug, what his last name is, but so there's two of us, and we just talked about the upcoming budget meeting, and we got a presentation on the Dewey Decimal System, and of course, those of us that use the Dewey Decimal System, we know how to use it, but how do they decide what goes in the different categories and the numbers and that kind of thing. So that was kind of an interesting, what made up their categories, and some of them have changed over the years because, because things do change. So,
And I guess
anyway.
it's been too long for me that I haven't been in a library because I've forgotten all about the Dewey
Dewey
Decimal.
Decimal System. I don't know. I don't remember exactly what year we learned it, but I mean, it seems like they took us to the down there and
School.
well,
Yeah.
I was thinking 3rd or 4th grade because I remember going in and Miss Greeling, I kind of helped shelve books after when I was probably in 4th or 5th grade. But yeah, so it was good. I mean, what a beautiful library, and so I saw where the fire was, and fortunately it's where it was because it was well contained, and had it been a little further out when all the sprinkler system went off, they would have lost a lot of books. I mean, that would have been bad. So anyway, I think that's all I have.
Hey, Madam Chair, I do have one quick question. And just out of curiosity's sake, and maybe they don't have an answer to that, but, you know, at the Library of Congress, they have older books and that sort of stuff. What is the oldest book that the
Great River has?
Great River Library has? It's just a kind of a trivia question. I have no idea, I'm just, it
Yeah.
might be a question to ask.
We should
you
ask
know?
them, yeah.
Just kind of trivia, or maybe the oldest book from Wright County.
Yep.
The Bible's always a safe answer.
Well, yeah. Well, yes and no.
Yeah.
The new
You're
version, I'm
you're
just kind
wondering,
of curious.
you're wondering what the first book that came off the Gutenberg press was?
It's just, you
There,
know,
there is that one that when we were in Washington, we saw the oldest book. It was from the Gutenberg press, and it was in the Smithsonian, and that was 15, 16. I mean, it was really old. I have to remember. I have to look when the Gutenberg press was invented, but it was very old. It was one of the original. I think there was only 5 volumes in the whole world, and like maybe 2 remain. But I'll have to refresh my memory because that was a few years ago. So anyway, Commissioner Vetch.
So last week had a large number of different meetings. So first we had the I-94 coalition last week, which was mostly just strategizing on at the federal and state level on where the funds are going to go and how we can have a chance of getting them to finish out the gap project between Albertville and Monticello, as well as finishing out the 610 aspects that are on the Maple Grove corridor. On Friday last week, I had the Wright County Economic Development Partnership. David Kelly, City of Buffalo, gave us a nice update on kind of what's happening in Buffalo, and then we approved our RFP that's going to go out here for a 5-year marketing contract, trying to robust our presence on the web as well as social media. So this is kind of encompassing all of that. And also, I had 7W met last week on Friday as well. Wright County was a winner. The city of St. Michael, the project at 43rd and Frankfurt Parkway was awarded from the region some of the federal funds in the tune of about $1.2 million. So that was a very nice win for Wright County and for St. Michael on that project.
yeah, they're going to be putting in a roundabout and widening that street there. So it'll be nice.
Nice, yep. So lots going on with that, but that's all I have.
Commissioner Wetter.
Okay, last Wednesday in Hutchinson, I attended the policy committee for the South Fork Crow River One Watershed One Plan, and basically didn't do a whole lot at that meeting. Went over the bylaws, made some changes, and then approved Houston Engineering to make the plan, which will use the Bowser Clean Water Fund amounts. And then also I got back to that day to go to the Wright County Historical Society, and what they are proposing to do is to come into the courthouse this building, why it still has some people in it, and take pictures actually why there's still people in it, and then go up to the recorder's office and maybe search some deeds and stuff like that, but they hope that they can spend more than an hour in there. I guess they have a maximum time to go in there for. So that's what they were going to do. Plus, the board voted to remove the Collingwood Cabin at the fairgrounds. I mean, if you remember, that's the one that had the holes in the roof and in the siding and all that. It's beyond repair is what they kind of figured in, and they'd rather use their monies that they have towards other projects rather than trying, and they really don't have a whole lot to keep the updates and maintenance on some of these buildings. where they'd actually rather do it like on the school and the other cabin that's there. And then for extension, I spent most of Friday in Hutchinson again, interviewing 3 applicants for that shared horticulture position. And between, McLeod, Meeker, and Wright. And if the University of Minnesota feels that their background checks and all that are okay, we did come up with somebody that we would offer the position to, and if that person said no, the next one we would also offer it to, so.
Good.
So at this point, wait and see.
That was a part-time position too, wasn't it? 30 hours?
Yeah, it was, what was it, 75%?
Couldn't remember. I was thinking, 30 hours a week or something like that.
Yeah, 30 hours a week.
Madam Chair? And for Commissioner Wetter, did they have specific plans on getting rid of that log house? If it's gonna cost money, they might wanna contact the fire department to do a controlled burn and reduce it to ashes and.
That was discussed. What they're trying to do is they were gonna contact a few auction houses and see if anybody would be interested
I would think
in
that they would be
auctioning it.
interested in that.
And, could make a little bit of money anyways on it or whatever, but, at this point, yeah, that had been discussed too.
I
If
would
worse
think that a
came to worse.
private contractor or someone that is a builder could get that and, restore it, so that,
You never know.
As a county, we can't necessarily put a lot of money into these kinds of things, but an individual certainly for the history of it.
Well, and I even thought that Finnish group that's out, I don't
Right.
know how particular they are on what kind of
Well,
a cabin they have, but
Yeah.
they might be interested too.
Well, the old barnwood and that sort of stuff.
Yes.
There's a huge demand for it, so
There is.
I think that's a great idea to put out for auction.
I
There
would
may be
definitely.
some people that are very interested in that.
Yeah, so that's, at this point, that's what they were gonna look into, but they truly wanna get rid of it because,
Becomes a
it's an
liability,
eyesore.
yeah.
You can't go into it and, for
Not
safety's sake,
No.
You don't want anybody in the environments that might be in it, who knows?
So now when the Historical Society comes and take pictures and looks for anything that's artifacts in here or something.
Oh, yeah, they also,
Do they want to take one of the judges' chambers or maybe one of the court, where the judge sits? They can put that out there in the Historical Society.
I honestly couldn't tell you.
We're gonna make that
I
suggestion.
don't know what their thoughts are on any of that.
Or maybe they want
I'm
those
not a mind,
benches.
Mark, I'm not a mind
Or they
reader.
want those, maybe they want those benches or something. Just trying to help, so that less stuff we gotta get rid of.
And
Well, and they're getting short on storage space too.
yeah, sure.
So,
They did a nice job on the history wall, in the Justice Center, so I think people really appreciate that and going in and people just sit and look at it, because it's fun to see.
And also they have to change the exhibits in there once in a while,
they do.
so. I know they just had a hats exhibit that they took that and took that down, what they're gonna put in it.
Yeah, I think they really should have a judge's room, or just something.
Oh, so you wanna wrap the gavel somewhere else?
No, but I figured the kids would.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all right. Anything else?
Nope, that's it, thank
Mr.
you.
Kelly?
All right. Well, as you know, a lot of interviews going on up in administration right now with a couple positions open, so that took a lot of time last week. Also, that continues this Friday as well and into this week, so working on that. Of course, everybody's asking, when is the move? And Alan's working hard to get our certificate occupancy, but that's changing on a day-by-day basis. So working on communicating out what we do know at this point as we will be moving. Sometime between now and June 1st, I'll put the bookend way out there and under promise and over deliver, but communicate more as we go. But at this point, we're planning to be holding the board meetings in this room, at least through March. So More updates as we get more information on that. Another, just preparing for the move. Did have another meeting with health partners on their clinic, just keeping those logistics moving forward, and just a lot of the little things, such as, Google Maps, making sure that they know when we move, that where people need to go, so.
Madam Chair, did we set hours that we were gonna have a meeting at that at some point for the clinic when it does, and when are they thinking about operating in that building?
Right now, we're looking at April 1st. I'm trying to remember what we set for actual hours, but we did extend them outside of our 8 to 4:30.
Okay.
So if we want to discuss more, we could do it at the workshop, if you're interested.
Yeah, that would be something to add.
Okay, we'll give a little update there. They did also approach us about a prescription drug program that they could keep a bunch of, probably about 40 most common prescriptions on hand that we could issue from there. I think that'd be great savings, draw through for the employees too, so.
Yeah, if we could get an update on the workshop, that'd be good.
Maybe that's too late?
No, we can, I think if that's like 2 weeks out.
The 15th.
15th, that's plenty good, yeah, just get an idea.
So we
when-
know.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll have more information on the building then too, and
yeah.
might be moved, I
I
don't
just
know.
I
kinda
was
wanted to-
gonna, that's my thought. What if they were open before the rest of us were in
No,
there?
we've moved that date back in order, and they've needed a little bit of time too to get
Okay,
pulled up
We'll
and ready to
we'll
go,
be
so.
there somehow, Mary.
I just, it'd be interesting.
Madam Chair?
Yeah, Mr. John.
If we ever do get a date set, how are you planning on getting that information out to the public?
Well, hitting it a lot of different ways. I mean, we wanted to get a construction sign similar to what's on the site out here stating that we're moving. Hope to do that rather than put out the digital sign that the highway had, just for a little bit of look. Met with John this morning briefly about communicating it out through our social media, our website, hitting those. I think it'd be good, hit all sources we can, potentially print. If you want to put something in the paper, we could. Once that date is more solid. For now, we're trying to communicate, yes, we will be moving, but we're not set on that date, and that's been the challenge. Once that date is set, we'll be able to roll out a timeline of which departments are going to move when.
And the biggest issue right now is that we're having problems with the furniture delivery for the first and second floors.
Yeah, we still need some sign-offs with the electrical and plumbing in order to get the certificate of occupancy. Third floor, second is largely outfitted and ready to go. It's just more so working through that lower level. So.
And we don't want a big time gap between some departments moving and everyone else. I mean,
Correct.
even if we're ready to third and fourth floor, well, I mean, wouldn't behoove us to move those departments and then.
Great.
Well, my
Like the
guess
rest
is
of
that
us.
IT is going to have to be in 2 locations.
For a
They're going to
while.
have to split their up, because I'm assuming HHS will be the first group to move out there, which is some in this building and some out in the old Pomida building, so we'll have to do the best job that we can in letting the public know that all of HHS is going to be out there. But with HHS out there, IT is going to have to be out there too. But if we're still here, IT is going to have to be here. Because you know how needy us commissioners are.
Yeah,
Madam Chair.
especially
Yes,
you,
Mr.
Mark.
Ketchmark.
I think the signage out here is most important. From sitting in my office and hearing the people every day, all day, talking to the receptionist and asking for services that have been out at the LEC or wherever for many years. So you can put it all over the place and still you're gonna have those people. So important that maybe they can at least see it before they get in the building or get out of their car will be helpful.
Yeah, I agree. It's amazing that the jail's been out there for 11 years.
No longer than that, 2009.
Well, people still
13
come in
years.
here
Yep,
wanting to see somebody in the jail, so.
yep. So, was there anything else?
Nope. I think I'll
Anything
wrap.
else that anyone has? If not, we are adjourned at 9:55. Thanks, everybody.